Hey peeps, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. First and foremost, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, your laptop, or your pad. Anchor will then distribute these podcasts, no fee, everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, anywhere. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app today, Anchor, Anchor, or go to Anchor, Anchor.fm to get started. You will have fun. Good day. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That's me. This is where we will view the world through the lens of life and interaction, hopefully applying some common sense, empathy, and intelligent reasoning. The world is a crazy place. Let's explore it together. Good day to you. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That would be me. It is December the 11th, 2020. Wow, where has the year gone? The title of this episode is Embrace the Suck. I know that's a bit forward, but you'll see why later. I think this is going to be the last little ditty before next year. Last episode of this season. When I think back about how we all started doing things differently in March, whether just to alleviate our anxieties or to have something to do, not be bored. So it's been a hell of a year, folks. And we have repeatedly heard, if not stated, wow, this sucks. Summer sucks. I didn't get to graduate. I didn't get to go to prom. I have to take online classes. I lost my job. I can't go to work. Wear a mask. 2020 sucks. Indeed. Kinda did. Kind of has. So if you guys know me, and I've stated before that one of the peeps that I really enjoy listening to and am inspired by is Brene Brown. Brene Brown is an author, lecturer, professor, researcher of all things kind of social sciences. Social work is her niche. That's what her PhD is in, but she does TED Talks and books and podcasts on all kinds of things about empathy, emotional stuff. It's just good stuff. But anyway, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and of course she inspired me per usual. So I'd like to kind of continue her conversation. And Brene made up this thing called FFTs. 3 letters, FFT, apostrophe S, being plural. And that stands for effin first times. You heard me correctly. Effin first times. What does that mean? Well, let's think about some of the first times that we've gone through in our life. Think about, I don't know, first time you went to school, first time you left home, mama's apron strings. You left home and went to first grade, kindergarten, whatever. Think about the first time you got behind the wheel of a car. First kiss. First time you moved out of the house, got your own apartment. First time you went to college. It could just go on and on, right? Well, those first times can be challenging. They can be difficult. They can be uncomfortable. So when we think about the situation that we're in with this global pandemic that is just getting worse day by day, we have to revisit those effin first times, FFTs, effin first times. And let's think about what we've had to do. Well, we've had to socially isolate. We've had to stay home. We've had to work from home. We've had to learn from home. We've had to teach from home. We've got to wear a mask every time we go out. We can't find toilet paper. The shelves in the grocery store are bare. Holidays. We can't have holidays with our families as we used to. Effin first times. We're anxious, we're angry, we're over it, we're fatigued, we're tired. We are so tired. Tired and tired of it. Effin first times. So what do we do about that? Well, believe it or not, Brene has some strategies for just that. She has listed 5, used to be 3, has grown to 5 now, strategies that we can use. First of all, let's just name it. Just name the damn thing. Whatever it may be, whatever first time that you're having to do, just name it. There it is. Okay, now you have a title. The next thing is to give it perspective. It's not going to last forever. It's temporary, hopefully. It's okay. Give it perspective. The next is to adjust your expectations. Your expectations, mind you. Okay, so I can't go and have dinner with friends like I used to. I can't go to the bar and hang out with my buddies. Okay, adjust those expectations. FaceTime, Zoom, Skype. Adjust. New perspective. And the last 2 make a lot of sense. And the number 4 strategy for FFTs is rest and recovery. And I know you think, gosh, we've just been home this whole time. You would think we have enough rest. No, we don't. We're not sleeping. We're anxious. Our sleep is interrupted. We're having strange dreams. Everybody will tell you that, particularly those people that are on the front lines, particularly those people who are still working to serve us. Rest and recovery. Our brain needs to sleep. Now, it doesn't sleep, mind you, but it needs that downtime. It needs that time to recover and to play and to refuel. Rest and recovery. Sleep's the number 1 treatment for depression, anxiety, most all mental health issues. And we're just not getting enough of it. And the last strategy for dealing with these FFTs, these effin first times, is to get fit. Now, fit, I'm not talking about, necessarily gym fit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fit mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and yes, physically fit to deal with these effin first times. It might be gym time. It might be working out at the house. It might be a Peloton app. It might be, yoga and meditation. It might be journaling. It might be reading a book. It might be taking a walk. Getting yourself fit enough to deal with these uncomfortable and challenging effin first times. We have to do that. Have to do that. So I want to read you a quote that Brene Brown shared with us on her podcast, and it comes from a history professor by the name of Edward T. O'Donnell. And he says, in the first 2 decades of the 21st century, if the first 2 decades of the 21st century have taught us anything, it's that uncertainty is chronic, instability is permanent, disruption is common, and we can neither predict nor govern events. There will be no new normal. There will only be a continuous series of not normal, defying prediction and unforeseen by most of us until they happen. Wow. Okay. So in other words, normal is going to change. And we're not going to get any less uncomfortable anytime soon. Another author, poet, humanitarian, and social justice advocate by the name of Sonia Renee Taylor. Her quote says, "We will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal, other than we normalized greed. We normalized inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack. We should not long to return. We are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature." Oh, that's a second wow, huh? So why do we want to go back to normal? Why do we want to do that? Let's think about what normal was. Social injustice and disproportionate resources and inequity and inequality and, oh gosh, we don't want to go back there. We've been given a time to be self-enlightened, if you will, because we've been forced to stay at home. So we've forced our heads into social media and news and all the stuff that we consume every day, except now we consume much more of it. And if you don't, you've just got your head under a rock. So what does that mean? That means that we are enlightened. We have a chance to do something. I mean, these issues have been around for a very long time. But do you think we would have paid attention to it if COVID had not struck, if we had not been forced at home to see the murder of George Floyd in our face in real time? Do you think that we would have seen that had COVID not been here? All of the riots and the protests, more so than history has shown prior, and there's been a lot of riots and protests. Would we have seen that? Would we have noticed that? Would it have been just another, notch in a belt? This not so comfortable, this most uncomfortable time that we're living in has given us opportunity and hopefully clarity to see what we can do for humanity, for ourselves, for our communities. So Brené Brown also mentions that within this big book that the Alcoholics Anonymous use, I'm not familiar, but she does quote a statement from this big book. And it says that we neither run toward what we're craving, nor do we run away from it. We have a sense of neutrality. Yeah, that's a third wow. So let me say that again. We neither run toward what we're craving, nor do we run away from it. We have a sense of neutrality. So obviously when we're talking about addiction, we don't run toward those cravings, but we don't run away from it either. We stand we stand our ground, and we face it with a neutral conscience. Okay, so here we are, into 2020. Global pandemic on the rise like never before. Our cases are worse than they were in March. We've not seen the end of this, and nor will we, vaccine or not, for quite some time. We don't want to run toward it, but we don't want to run away from it. Stand our ground, face those effin' first times. Deal with those strategies to deal with those effin' first times. Name it. Give it a perspective. Adjust your expectations. Rest and recovery, and stay fit for FFTs. I hope that we all can find joy and kindness and a heightened perception of ourselves during these times. I hope that you guys have found some creative source to ease your anxiety. I hope that you found some new hobby or some outlet for your humanity. This podcast was it for me. It was one of many things, but it was something I never in a million years thought that I would do. And for those very few of you who listen to it, I appreciate it. But here's the thing. I just want to talk. And I hope that you listen. But if you don't, that's fine too. There's a lot of people out there talking, right? I wish you the best, most joyous, kind holiday that you can have during these times. However you may celebrate. I want you to be safe, and I want you to be healthy. And I want you to be kind to others. And more than anything else, peeps, we need to embrace the suck. I'll see you next year. Peace.